Hi, I am Yolanda, co-founder of Harper Therapy. I don't know if you are anything like me, but sometimes my mind thinks random thoughts. Like, do you think that a caterpillar is aware of the changes it's going through as it becomes a butterfly? I know, really random, right? I was on a 12-mile hike recently to kind of cap off the year that was 2020, do some reflection. And 12 miles gives you plenty of time and space and quiet for random thoughts to pop into your head. This was one of mine, just one of many. But maybe this one wasn't so random because I've often thought that the therapy process is quite a bit like the metamorphosis that caterpillars go through to become butterflies. Hang with me through this metaphor now, okay? And actually, since I'm neither a caterpillar or a butterfly, I can only imagine it's somewhat like the process. So, if I were a caterpillar, um, I have been drawn into the chrysalis. And by drawn, I mean that I didn't really have a choice. Um, my time had come. Whether you call it God or the universe or a higher power or just the next step that life took me through, um, it was time to do or die. It was time to face the past or have my life wither away by not facing it. And I believe that at some level, each one of us comes to a similar crossroads in our lives. I think it's simply part of being human. So I accepted the invitation and entered the chrysalis or the cocoon. And it was different. It was like an entirely different planet. There were new ideas that I was learning. It seemed like there was a new language, new ways of interacting with myself and others. Sometimes it was really uncomfortable. And there were times in that cocoon and that chrysalis that felt a little dark and lonely. And tucked away, learning, growing, slowly, I felt some things starting to shift inside of that space and inside of myself. Sometimes it was almost imperceptible, my own therapy process. Other times, it felt like there were big movements. But inside that chrysalis, the caterpillar can grow in safety. And I really think that's very similar to what the therapy process is. Then the time comes for the transformed creature to exit the cocoon, to spread its new wings and try them out. The caterpillar becomes a butterfly. This newness and this new body and shape and this new world, that too sometimes is really uncomfortable. And sometimes as I was trying on these new things and learning these new ways, through learning and growing in therapy, it felt wobbly. Sometimes after you come out of the cocoon, out of that chrysalis, the sun can feel a little bright after the darkness of the cocoon. And the new wings sometimes need some time to gain strength. But soon, that new butterfly, that new creature's eyes have adjusted and the wings unfurl and feel stronger. And so in my own therapy process that I've shared a little bit about, I gained new perspective. And memories that had been distressing were then filed away in their proper place in long-term memory storage instead of being triggered and instead of me feeling on guard all the time, because let's face it, that's really exhausting. When that happened, I was able to show up more authentically in my relationships. Let me be truthful. I got a better understanding of who I was so that I could show up more authentically in my relationships with loving boundaries and with my heart full instead of being reactive and defensive. My itty bitty shitty committee had taken a furlough, And there was new room and space for peace and love and joy. And over the years, I've entered that cocoon several times. I happen to be a big proponent of therapy, so I'm open to the therapy process. And life continues to be life with all of its challenges and losses and opportunities for growth. And in time, I've learned to be more responsive than reactive. And if I feel like a sense of something being off, instead of waiting for it to become a problem, I'm more apt to return to therapy. But over time, I've wondered something else. I've wondered, what if that cocoon looked different? Weekly therapy is definitely so powerfully helpful, but there have been times that I've wanted to tuck away and go deeper and go faster in the work to be able to have the time and space to open things up and let them be released and healed in a matter of days instead of weeks and months. So personally, I looked for different ways to cocoon, different processes of being in therapy that were more intensive. I looked for that, but I couldn't find what my gut and my instinct and my wisdom told me would be most powerful. There were longer programs, there were group programs, but these weren't really what I was looking for. So I created my own little cocoon, individual 2-day intensives that I offer here at Harper Therapy. It's 10-hour crystalys to grow and heal and change safely, to come out a new creation, one that is stronger, more peaceful, more joyful, and more connected. As I have offered these intensives over the past year, I have to say that some of the outcomes of clients have even surprised me, to the point that oftentimes we'll get follow-up phone calls from family members wanting to enter therapy when they've seen how transformative this intensive process has been for their loved one. So, are you being called into this kind of transformation? There's a link in this post to more information about the framework of the 2-day intensive. But really, if you are feeling drawn to making big changes in a short period of time, this might be a good fit for you. And you can give me a call here at the office and we can schedule a consultation and talk it through. You can reach us at 813-434-3639. All right, Catepillar, you ready to become a butterfly?